Hi, and welcome to eMarketer One-on-One, a video interview where industry leaders share their insights and tips for staying competitive in the worlds of marketing and media. I'm your host, Jeff Ramsey, co-founder of eMarketer and chief evangelist at Insider Intelligence. Today, I'm here with Partnerize CEO Matt Gilbert, and we're going to talk about what's happening in the affiliate marketing space and its intersection with partnerships. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Jeff. Happy New Year. Appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you today.
So, Matt, I understand this past July that PepperJam was acquired by Partnerize, a partner automation platform. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your role as CEO of Partnerize?
Thanks, Jeff. Yes, that's correct. We're obviously living in challenging times, but combinations like that of PepperJam and Partnerize, which are the companies we brought together in July, have me very enthusiastic about the opportunities for our category and the chance to help brands and their partners really respond to some of the fundamental changes in the world that we're all living in. There's been some significant shifts in power away from the marketer to the consumer. The dependencies on Facebook, Instagram, and Google are very real, and in many cases have created an existential threat and pressure on the unit economics of a lot of the clients that we work with and aspire to work with. And as CEO of the combined business moving forward, I have the privilege of both guiding our priorities and leading the execution of our plan to help this channel, the affiliate channel, emerge and overcome what have been some well-deserved, in many cases, historical biases. And I think finally play a role, the role it's capable of playing as a creator of operating leverage for marketers and really fundamentally helping them turn their partnerships channel into profit centers for their business. The combined companies now, on a go-forward basis, serve several thousand enterprise and mid-market clients across the globe. They represent categories across retail and e-commerce, travel, financial services, telecommunications, and entertainment. And we're approaching now $10 billion in transaction value on the platform and support an ecosystem of 750,000 plus partners, including 250,000 influencers and creators. So we're really, I think, in a compelling position to be able to drive material growth across this ecosystem, and we're excited about that opportunity.
So 2020 was certainly an interesting year and one that many of us, I think, would like to forget. But as you look across the current landscape, what stands out most to you in terms of digital marketing trends?
Well, the obvious call out is the dramatic effect COVID's had on consumer behavior and the breakout growth of e-commerce. Jeff, I think your numbers at eMarketer forecast $800 billion in full year e-commerce revenue for 2020, and that would represent about 30% growth over the prior year. Our Partnerize Affiliate Marketing Sales Index, which we've published now since the onset of COVID, similarly reports affiliate channel revenue up 31% over 2019. So significant consistency in both numbers and demonstrative of that growth that COVID's driven. Those gains aren't likely to be given back. So I think consumer behavior has fundamentally shifted forever, and expect that that will continue to drive momentum across the overall digital landscape as that becomes the primary channel where commerce is enabled and transacted moving forward here. I think the other thing that continues to stand out to me is the related overdependence on Facebook, Instagram, Google, and the continued share gains that we're seeing from Amazon as a percentage of media spend. Because I look at numbers, approximately 60% of all dollars spent in the digital channels are projected to be spent in those four places as we move into 2021. And as a marketer, you have to be there, but those CPMs continue to climb. Facebook CPMs have fully recovered from the COVID pullbacks. Google CPCs continue to rise, and marketers desperately need a high quality alternative to those channels. It's just simply not sustainable to rely on those channels if you expect to build a profitable and enduring business. The math simply doesn't work.
Absolutely. We've certainly seen the dominance of Google, Facebook, and others, Amazon now playing a role in that as well. So why don't you tell us, how have affiliate marketing and partnerships evolved as you see it?
Yeah, I think this category is really going through what I would characterize as a long overdue disruption. As someone who's spent the better part of the last 20 years, really my entire career, building and scaling businesses in ad tech, martech, and digital media, I will tell you very candidly that the affiliate category for most of those years, in my view, has been appropriately defined as a last click transactional channel. And it's really been leveraged to drive sales volume relative to short-term goals. And it's been largely unwilling to open itself up to measurement alongside the other active paid channels. And that, for many years has resulted in significant revenue growth. But on a go-forward basis, it's actually created headwinds for those legacy providers to be able to generate the growth that they need in their businesses as a result of delivering the solution that marketers need. So I think what we're seeing now is that legacy network model, really kind of built on a protectionist attitude, are finally being challenged, right? And you're seeing that manifest itself across the category. You really starting to see new brands who have historically avoided this category because they don't perceive themselves as discounted oriented brands. Luxury brands would be a good example of that. And the diversification of partner types that generate revenue, whereas historically this category largely would have seen revenue comprised of coupon and cashback partners. We're tracking in that index, as I referenced before, revenue generated by content publishers has increased 75% just over last year. And that's been largely at the expense of the cashback and coupon publishers who would have historically been in that last click position and be credited for a sale in that old world.
So from a retail marketer's point of view, what value or role have partnerships provided when navigating this new normal?
They need a subsidy, a compelling subsidy to those primary sales and marketing channels. This channel has been one that historically should have been able to provide it, but it hasn't, and largely because it's been concentrated, or the scale, I should say, has been concentrated in those coupon and cashback publisher types. The solution to that, obviously, is to automate the process of being able to diversify and combine that with the existing scale and leverage a performance-based model, because it's at the intersection of those three things, scale, automation, and outcome-based pricing, that real operating leverage is created. So, when you look at what these marketers are really thinking about, they need answers right now. They're not waiting for others in their respective companies to figure it out. They have urgency, and there's a real focus there. And so, when we look at even the Forrester research that we've deployed, there's confirmation of that. 46% of the respondents in our most recent Forrester research piece confirmed that the affiliate channel offers them greater control over their media spend compared to other channels where they have spend deployed. And 45% of those surveyed actually cited significant improvement in their marketing ROI versus the other channels.
Marketers, understandably, have had to adjust quickly from a strategic and a tactical point of view. It's caused spend shifts and marketers to have to rethink where they deploy their dollars. And that's created increased pressure and scrutiny. So how have you seen shifts in spend translate in partnerships?
Jeff, we have started to see material shifts in spend towards this category. And a recent Gartner survey actually further suggests that the increase in budget allocations to this channel will come from over 65% of the marketing leaders surveyed as they reviewed their spending plans for 2021 over 2020. I think what's driving that is ultimately that the power of this channel is resident in the performance model. You don't pay a partner if they don't generate an attributable conversion here. And the value of that conversion is ultimately set by the marketer. So it's a fundamentally different commercial dynamic than a pay-for-access channel where you're paying for an impression-based view, or even a gateway performance model like a cost per click where you're paying for the traffic distribution, but ultimately the burden of conversion rests with you. So I think we will continue to see dollars move in this direction, in particular given the need for a marketer to have their message omnipresent. Right? As the consumer has gained control, it's incumbent upon the marketer really to be everywhere. And when that happens, not only is it expensive, but you need to bring brand and performance messaging together. And this is a channel, given the diversity of partner type now, where you have the opportunity to do that and do it on a pay-for-performance basis.
From what I've seen in the past, affiliate marketing and partnerships are often not thought of as a primary channel in the marketer's mix. Is this a valid thought process?
I think it is as a generalization. Obviously, there are exceptions, but Jeff, there's a myriad of quotes highlighting the theme, right? If you can't measure it, it doesn't exist or it can't be improved. And I think, one of the fundamental challenges, and it was sort of self-created by this category, has been the prolonged practice of behaving like a walled garden from an attribution standpoint. It's largely the fallout of being a last-click channel and having a concern that incrementality or contribution from the performance of the channel would be marginalized, ignored, or somehow absent as measurement was left to others. And that's not necessarily an unreasonable fear, but the problem with it is that the answer wasn't to build a higher wall. That's not the path forward here. I mentioned before, but marketers desperately need this channel to ascend and to become a primary channel. Part of elevating it is to provide the technology innovation that evolves the ability to attribute and measure. Part of it's breaking down those walls and being willing to stand up and be measured in the context of the full customer journey, even if that means in the near term, perhaps credit may flow elsewhere as you educate marketers at more senior levels of their organization to understand the role this channel plays amongst all of their active channels.
Let's dive a little deeper into the difference between affiliate and partner marketing. Is there anything that clearly separates an affiliate network and a partner platform?
So when we talk about a network, and oftentimes you'll hear us refer to them as a legacy network or the legacy model, these were the original entrants, to the affiliate landscape. The network model is a last vestige of really an old world. If you think about the programmatic landscape now for display, right, that really is the evolution of what was the network model for display advertising. The affiliate channel still is really the only channel at this stage of the evolution of the broader category that holds on to that network approach. These were businesses that were built by really leveraging and touting their supply side database, right, what we would call, sort of the SSP in the programmatic world. And in years past, that may have even included inventory exclusivity. Now, the reality is those days are over, right? The concept of exclusivity in the affiliate channel doesn't exist anymore. On the other side of the equation, you've got platform providers, which really have focused classically on the software, right? Typically provided as a service or as a SaaS, and really with their primary motivation to be around developing the technology which solves for the primary challenges that have held the channel back, right? Partner discovery, how do you automate that process to deliver scale through automation beyond coupon and cashback partner types? How do you deliver commissioning capability to reward a partner regardless of where they may be in the customer journey and move beyond last click and reward based on value or perceived or measured value in the journey overall? So I think we've got an opportunity here to really combine the best of what we would have called an affiliate network with what has been characterized on a go-forward basis as a partner platform, and really deliver the comprehensive solution for the category that helps the marketers we've been talking about realize the potential the category should be providing in the context of really turning their partnerships into profit centers.
How have you seen the roles of publishers and partners in affiliate and partner marketing evolve over the past 5 years?
Right? When you think about the technology innovation around partner discovery and the ability to then reward based on a role in the journey and where a partner may exist in the click stream, that's opened up the channel, right? If you were a creator or an influencer who might have been, in the classically defined introducer or top of funnel role, you had no financial interest in promoting a brand in this channel because you were not likely to be compensated for it. We now obviously have the ability to demonstrate to a creator who may sit early in the funnel as an introducer that not only will they be properly attributed, they'll be compensated. And that brings inventory and diversification of partner type into the channel. The index that I mentioned before, this is obviously an area we track very closely with that index. We're showing a 35% increase in the number of revenue active partners per program in 2020 over 2019. That's a material increase in the sense that it demonstrates the diversification movement is gaining significant momentum, and we expect that to continue. It largely would have been, historically comprised of coupon, cashback, discount type of publishers, and that 35% certainly demonstrates that that's not the case here. The other factor at play, and I think it's a critically important one, is the needs of the partners themselves. They're often overlooked in this ecosystem, but they are the fuel that drives it. And their monetization, right? When you think about the RPM or revenue per 1,000 pages, typical KPI that a publisher would look at, is largely dependent on two things: one, ad load, and two, audience. And audience is a function largely of the traffic distribution that brings eyeballs to their site. The dependency there, like the marketer on Google from a PageRank perspective or Facebook from a newsfeed perspective, has left them vulnerable. Any change in the PageRank algorithm or a manipulation by Facebook of its newsfeed risks traffic distribution and page views, ultimately that would be or now no longer be able to be a source of monetization for a publisher. So as that's happened, these publishers have recognized, just like the senior level marketers, that they need to take control and look for alternative sources of monetization for their pages. And one of the places that they've significantly increased their focus and effort is on what we would call e-commerce referral or affiliate revenue. It's a line item now on most publisher P&Ls, and editors are specifically creating content to promote opportunity in the channel. Even the Today Show in the morning will talk about recommendations on specific products with a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen that they may receive a commission for sales that they generate. The other interesting piece of this is that for a marketer, all of these display opportunities combined with a performance-based pricing model creates earned media value opportunity for them, where without a CPM, without a pay-for-access model, they're getting a brand impression, even if a conversion isn't generated.
So Matt, a little earlier you mentioned the issue of last click. And I think there's a perception out there that affiliate marketing only plays a last click role. In your mind, is affiliate only a last click channel?
It shouldn't be, Jeff. It is still in many cases, but make no mistake, the technology is here to be able to understand and measure the role any partner plays in that customer journey. And there's a beginning of a willingness, certainly on our part at Partnerize, a commitment to open the APIs out of our platform and allow for the export of the measurement data from our channel into systems of record to be measured alongside other active channels, so that people understand how to deploy dollars across their active mix and be able to drive the highest yield out of their spend. That's how we move beyond this last click perception. But the blocker is no longer a technology. It's a historical bias to the status quo and a continued failure on the part of some legacy providers in the category to open up those walled gardens that I referenced before and stand up and be measured.
So I'm curious, would you say that coupons and loyalty programs are dead in affiliate?
I would not say that. I would say they continue to play a very important role in the diversification and a well-constructed program. The challenge has been, and I myself, even in the context of our conversation today, have perhaps suggested a largely negative view. But make no mistake, coupon and loyalty programs are critical components of an overall successful partner strategy. It's the dependence on these programs that's become problematic through the years. And for brands that do not discount and do not want to associate themselves with the context of cash back or providing a subsidy for a purchase, that dependency has kept those brands away. We want those brands in this channel, and those brands need to be here. So diversification is the key word. Those partner types are not dead. They just need to be a part of a broader mix aligned with the overall business objective.
Matt, this has just been unbelievable. Such a great amount of information and insight, both from a strategic and a tactical viewpoint. So I want to thank you, Matt, for joining us. We hope to see you back here next time for another eMarketer one-on-one video interview.
Thank you, Jeff. I look forward to it.